What up, guys? Big bussy hours. Everybody loves to hear a great comeback story. True. Never go up. You should never give up. Don't kill yourself. Balls. Remember big milker season coming through? Wow, notify me working actually on time this time. Maybe I was too abusive and too hurtful. Damn, he's gonna play the life game. Motherfucker. No. Gotta keep his spirits down. Damn, I should have taken the other one. think I'm cooked. It don't matter. I lost that one. All right. We keep that. Yikes. Oh, he's got lifelink. Damn. Got trampled too? Yeah. God, what a bitch. Good combo though. God, I hate lifelink. The worst. Oh no! Damn. I shouldn't have. Well, it would. It doesn't matter. He still. The cuck would have still used it. Okay, I lost this one. fuck? Monero be doing some weird shit. Not Monero, Cake Wallet. His tokenized stock trading. Oh wow, Cake Paste finally fucking works. Interesting. So CakePay decided to come back. Probably the only decent feature about it, but I had an issue with I think it was a merchant issue. And because a lot of this shit is regulated, I think they were having problems with it, but surprisingly, I contacted Cake Support and they got my my transaction refunded back. It was like pending or something, and they got it back to me. They returned it essentially because they were like, "Oh, okay." It's kind of crazy. And I think we're getting closer and closer to be able to live off Monero in a more efficient way. There are some caveats to it. There was this company I was getting paid in Bitcoin from, it was called Strike. You could take a percentage of your check and convert it to Bitcoin, and then I would just take that Bitcoin and buy Monero, ultimately. In hindsight, it was maybe not the best idea, but it was cool, but then they stopped it. I think they got into some probably regulation trouble or maybe didn't have enough liquidity. I don't fucking know. All I know is they stopped it. And I was like, well, that was a waste. But it was cool, but I was getting like a percentage of my paycheck in Bitcoin automatically. That was nice. I started that in like 2020. I think they ended maybe like a year or two later. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure when they ended, but all I know is that if that could be done with Monero, that'd be even better. Because the thing is, I think the thing don't realize is like Monero's privacy feature that's kind of built in is so good that there could be theoretically some KYC element to it that would make it harder to link you, if that makes sense. Even with you getting, like, even if you bought KYC Bitcoin and you swap for Monero's privacy, default privacy, somewhat protects you, especially if you're running your own node. But I've bought in some serious stuff with Monero. Like my like Mulvad, I pay for Mulvad with Monero. But the thing is, I rotate. I'll do like 3 months and then I'll get a new account. Like I never. This is kind of like advice. Don't ever do just Monero. I mean, just like don't ever do just a. Let's do it. Worth. Don't just do one Molvat account. Like you should probably like rotate through them. It's not important, really. I mean, it's the resetting up if you have it connected to mobile devices is kind of annoying, but whatevs. Ooh, no, I should have done that one. Damn it. Should have done him. Damn. These flanks. These fight types be ass for real. Motherfucker just got cards, bro. I hate him. Come on, give me... God, give me one more fucking land, bitch! What the fuck? Okay. God damn. Give me one dark. Give me two dark, actually. Dumb bitch. I had one left. What the fuck? yeah, I lost that one. Damn. Got cooked on that one. Massive Jeepus moment. Something that actually I want to see. This is something that Monero stands have been talking about for a minute. This was posted by Luke Huge Balls Parker back in 2024, April 27th. Full chain membership proofs development. And maybe if somebody comes back and watches this live stream, they'll have questions, and maybe they'll get answers from reading. It's pretty short. We can open that. Okay, so full chain membership proofs as a concept is a replacement for rings within the Monero protocol. While rings have offered a sender privacy to Monero since it launched, they are vulnerable to attacks such as the EAE attack, have difficulties upon chain reorganization. Look at that. And that. So, oh, wow.
Welcome back to Breaking Monero. This is our 9th episode on poisoned outputs, or the EAE attack.
Monero's ring signatures provide plausible deniability, but they aren't perfect. We model examples where two colliding parties, E, attempt to learn information about the individual A by sending outputs individuals and tracing their transaction graphs. These concluding parties may perform a powerful statistical test to learn significant information, especially for repeated transactions where they would not normally occur by chance. I believe someone has said that a way to kind of solve this loosely is that you have a different send address and a different receive address. This is why you should use sub addresses, and you should do different sending, like different sub addresses, different sending addresses, and then also running your own.
Welcome back to Breaking Monero. Today we are covering a sensitive topic: chain splits. Chain splits are a really complex.
In this episode, and Justin introduced key image reuse concerns. We explain some techniques to protect security and privacy under a number of circumstances. Ultimately, users should not claim airdrop funds if they have not thought long and hard about the implications. True, as you shouldn't. Full chain memberships proofs plus spend authorization, linkability research, complete milestone. This is from 2024. But we will look at that. In general, enabled statistical analysis mitigated by distribution of decoy selection algorithm. Full chain memberships proofs prove the output spent is one of any outputs on the chain, effectively removing all of these risks. This means every input goes from an immediate anonymous set of 16 to 100,000. So essentially, when you with Monero's ring signatures, I think right now it's 16 outputs, so it's like one real output with 16 fake outputs at the same time. This is what Nero, I think the meme fork of Monero kind of had. It actually quite literally, jokes and memes aside, increased, I think, the ring signature, if I'm not mistaken. This was like a couple of years ago, and people were like, well, Nero is, Nero is an improved meme version of Monero. But essentially, if you are unaware, the unaware enjoyer of Monero's privacy, essentially what the ring signatures do, they take your output address and split it into 16 different. It's like taking a $20 bill, throwing it into a hat, and then 16 $20 bills come out of that process, and you don't know who's and which one's real and which one's fake. They all look real. if I'm correctly using that analogy. But it pretty much, this means that every input goes from an immediate anonymous set of 16 to like 100, over 100,000. That'd be 1,000, 20,000, 300,000, 100 million. Yeah. Lots of commas. 2 proposals have been made for Monero offering such privacy both under the full chain membership proofs. Monacure further mentions acronymed the FCMPS. This was first announced in MoneroCon in 2023 and was intended to be deployed with/after Seraphis. Seraphis distinguished between memberships. The output spent is one of some outputs and spend authorization. The outputs being spent is authorized by the private key holder. With that, much more efficient proofs for memberships became possible, including the Groodle proofs. It was originally proposed with effective a ring of 128. So like you put in you have 128 inputs, meaning like 128 different anonymity sets of like the $20 reference inside Monero. So it's 128 instead of 16. FCMPs further improved upon this, requiring Seraphis' new key transaction format to do so. The second proposal was made in March of 2024 in response to the spam attacks ongoing at the time. FCMP plus SA plus L, later shortened to simply FCMP plus S, independently adds spend authorization plus linkability, removing the dependency of Seraphis. With further research and development, it was found to add several new features to the Monero protocol without requiring the migration to Seraphis. These features include transaction chaining. Transaction chaining allows signing a transaction, spending another transaction before the spent transaction is published and mid on chain. This enables a certain layer 2 design for Monero, such as some payment channels protocols. Outgoing view keys. Outgoing view keys allow anyone with the outgoing view key to detect whether they receive the outputs are spent. Currently, Monero only offers incoming view keys, which do allow detect spending with extremely high likelihood over the current protocol, yet doesn't provide 100% certainty. This certainly will make cold wallet setups and multi-signature wallets much more efficient, based, by the way, having to bring a private key online far less often. It also allows defining a single view key without denialation of incoming or outgoing, simplifying wallet UX. Forward secrecy, this is kind of base. Forward secrecy means that an adversary with a discrete long log oracle, such as adversary with quantum computer, cannot break the privacy of the protocol. Perfect forward secrecy is kind of like a huge thing that people like kind of disregard, but it is kind of nice. While Seraphis also introduced all these features, it does with migration to a new anonymity set and new address format, invalidating all prior addresses. The FCMP++ proposal not only aims to be faster to deploy, yet to do so without the migration. This is enabled by trade-off not currently offered by any other functionality at launch, however. The deployed protocol would support all these features. The wallet code to take advantage of it would be delayed, ensuring that we keep our scope and achieve the largest goal: full send privacy as soon as possible. Wallets could then start taking advantage of these features on their own timeline without future hard forks nor privacy issues. This would likely be done by merging the Seraphis codebase into Monero. Taking advantage of this, taking advantage of it, years of development and improved design. With that, the migration to the new key structure would be optional, and if so, the work would be done for FCP++S. Would provide most necessary work for FCMPs with Seraphis. FCMP++ are also based off curve trees, and to make the rollover proof much more efficient, Egan's work with elliptic curve divisors in the overall composition has been largely specified and is currently being reviewed for further details as appropriate. The development of the composition was funded and funded for an academic review, and auditing is still rising. If you're a member of the academic community and interested in contributing, please feel free to reach out with the Monero Research Lab on IRC Mage or Matrix-based. This is pretty much curve trees, practical and transparent zero-knowledge accumulators, cryptology, ePrint archive. This is kind of a lot of math, but pretty much in this work we improve upon the state and art for practical zero knowledge for a set of membership, a building block at the core of several privacy-aware applications such as anonymous payments, credentials, and whitelists. The primitive allows users to show knowledge of an element in a large set without leaking the specific element. I'm assuming that I'm taking this in like with my brain, kind of like a cube with a sheet over it. Like I know the cube is there, but I don't need to know the contents of the cube. Maybe that's an easy way to understand it. One of the obstacles to such as anonymous payments, the primitive allows users to show knowledge of an element in a large set of without leaking the specific element. So it's like, hey, this is a large element, but you don't need to know the specific of the element. One of the obstacles is to its deployment is efficiency. Concretely, efficient solutions exist. Those deployed in Zcash sapling, but they often work at the price of a strong trust assumption and the underlying setup that must be generated by a trusted third party. To find an alternative approach, we focus on common building block accumulators and cryptographic data structure with which compresses the underlying set. We propose a novel, more efficient, fully transparent constructions, i.e. without trusted setup for accumulators supporting zero knowledge proofs for a set membership. Technically, we introduced a new approach inspired by the commit improve technique to combine shallow Merlic trees and two-cycle elliptic curves into a highly practical construction. Our basic accumulator construction, penis ball, true, is based on simple and widely used assumption, D-log, and random oracle model. Ours is the first fully transparent construction that obtains concretely small proof commitment size for large sets and providing time one order of magnitude smaller than proofs over Merkle trees with the predescended hash. For a concrete instigation targeting 128 bits of security, we obtain a commitment to a set of any size of 256 bits for S equal to the 2 power of 40 and a zero knowledge membership proof of 2.9 kilobytes. Its proving takes 2 seconds and verification 40 milliseconds on any ordinary laptop. Using our construction as a building block, we can design a simpler and concretely efficient anonymous cryptocurrency with full anonymity set, which we dubbed Vcash. Its transaction can be verified in 80 milliseconds and 5 milliseconds when batch verifying multiple hundreds of transactions. Transaction size of core 4 kilobytes. Our timings are competitive with those approached in the Zcash, Spalding, and trade slightly larger proof transactions in Zcash, Spalding to 2 minutes for a complete transparent setup. Interesting. YouTube is at it again, recommending me members only video. See ya. Damn you, YouTube, for recommending members only. Interesting. Vcash. And I believe that the problem with Zcash and the issues wow, math ML code. Vcash was a Malaysian digital wallet and online payment platform established in oh, that's cool. 7 years ago? Okay. That dissolved. Never mind. The cryptographic ePrint archives provide rapid access to recent research in cryptology. Papers have been placed in here by authors and did not undergo any refreshing process other than verifying the work seems to be within the scope of cryptography meets some minimal acceptance criteria and published conditions. Keyword PIR with arbitrary server-side. What is cryptography hiding from itself? Yeah, it's kind of interesting that Monero is the default when it comes to Monero is like the default when it comes to privacy, and it gets a lot of shit. It gets delisted, and it does have its problems. I believe that Monero's biggest problem is not mineability and reward functionality. I think that the vast majority of Monero doesn't actually get super into like mining and profitability. Maybe a small subset and maybe a small perspective of it, a small percentage of people that do get this. Let's look at a. So, not that this matters. Monero price has been pretty wild over the last since 2015, so 10 years. So think about this: 10 years. Let's go back to 2015. That's crazy. That's a long time. If you would have put maybe like $10,000 into Monero and just sat on it, put it into a wallet, never touch it, maybe even $1,000 at the time, what it would have been 28 cents. So that's like 0.28. You'd have not that much, but well, you'd have a lot actually. You have $84,000. If you would have put maybe 5,000, you'd have 1,400 coins. What, 314? You'd have $439,600. You'd have almost $500,000 if you would have put $5,000 10 years ago. If you had $5,000. So it's one of those things that like you should maybe like, I don't know, I don't want to say FOMO, but that was like when it was $1. Even if you would have put it at $1 and you would have gotten 5,000 coins, that's a lot. Say you would have got, you know, say it was $1 and you would have got 5,000 coins. People would have been like, "Oh, you should have done Bitcoin." I disagree still. And the reason I disagree is because Bitcoin's transparency is so huge that it's like you don't necessarily, you're just going to get caught. You're just going to get hit with taxes. Like a lot. You're going to get hit with a lot of taxes. And you're not going to, like, and it's, I get it, it's whatever, it's not really like a tax argument, but that's like, you essentially just kind of like made yourself a target and more transparent. And again, where did you people can follow every single transaction that you have done, and because they can see all the transactions you've done, you essentially had no privacy for the last 10 years. Even what Bitcoin in 20, let's see. Bitcoin's price in 2015 was $430. So, I mean, obviously you could look at it and be like, well, Bitcoin was a better option. Sure. Yes and no. Actually, if you would have bought Bitcoin at this price, at $430, with, $5,000, you would have gotten less Bitcoin versus you would have gotten more Monero. Now, Monero's price has fluctuated in the last 10 years, so it's kind of difficult. But Monero came out. When did Monero launch? I think probably like 2013, 2014. Monero was launched. The crazy thing is, there was a Reddit for Monero in around the same time it launched. They both created pretty much around the same time. So it was a fork of Bytecoin using CryptoNote protocol. It was initially announced by a pseudo-anonymous developer known as Thankful for Today on a Bitcoin forum. The project was originally named BitMonero, a kind of bit referring to Bitcoin, and Monero meaning coin in Esperanto, which is kind of funny. Esperanto. But the name was shortened to Monero after its launch, which is good. Thank God. I don't want to say the word. I wouldn't say BitMonero. It just sounds retarded. People do say Monero needs liquidity. It's just what I don't know. I believe this has been talked about. Like Monero's biggest problem is the liquidity, being able to buy it. I mean, RetroSwap is kind of a good. RetroSwap is good, and I do agree that it's good to have. Wow, this is kind of interesting. Monero signer. Because the most private wallet is the only one you know about. I kind of disagree. But whatever. I mean, the statement's true, but if you buy something and you use private means to purchase it. It's not, I don't know. Monero Signer is a Monero fork of Seed Signer using an air-gapped Raspberry Pi Zero to sign Monero transactions. Monero Signer lets anybody create their own hardware wallet out of commodity single-board computers. This is cool. So I will have a video coming up soon about how to essentially do offline transactions with a cold wallet. I think this is something that people do get confused about, and it's completely fine. But this is kind of cool, a signing device. The goal of Seed Signer is to lower the cost of complexity in Bitcoin multi-signature wallet use. To accomplish the goal, Seed Signer offers anyone the opportunity to build a verifiable, air-gapped, stateless Bitcoin signing device using inexpensive publicly available hardware components, usually less than $50. Seed Signer helps users save with Bitcoin by assisting with a trustless private key generator and multi-signature wallet setup, and helps users transact with Bitcoin via secure air-gapped QR code exchange signing model. This is something that people should learn how to do. It is kind of easy to do. Pretty much a calculated word of 12 to 24, a BIP39 seed phrase, create a BIP39 seed phrase. You can kind of pretty much create a BIP39 seed phrase with MP3 with a digital photo, generate interface manually. See, I wonder, does this have a built-in camera? I think it does. Yeah. Very cool. Also, if you're a Nostr enjoyer, there's actually a Nostr signer device. You can make your own. It's a Nostr key storage and remote signer. Not this. Right here. Where is it? It's actually kind of cool. I think this is it. Nope. There's actually a signing device that you can buy or build, even build yourself if you want. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's kind of like this. Like, it's just a random device that you can build. It's pretty cool because it allows you to sign everything, which helps with like the security. But why Monero Signer or any DY wallet for the matter, self-custody has been an ideological pillar for using cryptocurrency to empower individuals. Not your keys, not your coins. Agreed. Has often been used as the model to convince individuals to take custody of their private keys. Hardware wallets and offline signing machines offer protection against malware compromised machines. This is also true. The wallet that you have your device on, even if you run your own node and you run your own device, you must understand that you quite literally are trusting your machine at the end of the day. If you can trust your machine, then sure. I think CubesOS would offer like a higher level of privacy and security in terms of like a system that is isolated in itself, but in retrospect, that is a convenience factor, a real way to make sure everything is good is to continuously support offline cold wallets. I think cold wallets are essentially the most secure way you can do this. Oh, yeah. It looks like portable Monero QR. The portable Monero QR standard is the standard created Monero Signer project. The problem is some of these updates are not there. And you got to be careful with stuff that's not getting updates. There could be some maintenance problems, so this is something to keep in mind. Maybe this will get... It's saying actively developed. The Monero project has a lot of moving parts. I have broken the project out into bigger project milestones. These milestones have larger amount of smaller subtasks. They can be hard to measure tasks with. Okay. Interesting. Now, if you want to, if you just want to skip this part, you can essentially, just do this yourself with a hardware wallet. You can buy a hardware wallet. I know that's defeating the purpose, but I mean, it's really up to you. But Seed Signer, I mean, there's Seed Signer for Monero fans. I mean, Bitcoin fans. Having the ability to kind of do this is kind of cool. The goal of Seed Signer is to low-cost entry, temporarily store seeds in memory. Pretty much, it's to temporarily store seeds in memory while the device is powered. All memory is wiped when power removed. SD card removal after boot to ensure there is no secret data that can be written it to. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, onboard hardware. Can only receive data. I believe also for a higher level of security, I wonder if... it can create via dice roll. Well, there is the random noise generator, which is kind of cool, like the random number generator. Clear your nose. Look, we be out here. Oh, it's compatible with Sparrow, Nunchuck, Keeper, Blue Wallet, any Bitcoin wallet with self-distributed QR support. Shopping list, Raspberry Pi Zero, preferably version 1.3, has no Wi-Fi or Bluetooth capability, but any Raspberry Pi 2, 3, or 4 with 0W model will work. So you could theoretically get one of these. A special note on minimizing trust, as the nature of the prepackaged software downloading and using the prepared Seed Signer release image means that implicitly placing trust in people pairing these images. In our project release, the images are prepared and signed by the Emporius creator of the project Seed Signer, the person. The individual is additionally the only person in possession of the PGP keys that are used to sign the release image. Verify your software, especially when it comes to your cryptocurrencies. You do not want any backdoors. Yeah, it's cool, Leonard. So, like, Seed Signer is the Bitcoin version. But you have to remember, Bitcoin's transactions are transparent. The only few... what up, Jed? Here's a few problems with Bitcoin, but here's a ways to solve this. So you can look into this. There's still way less transparency with Bitcoin, even if you do this. So there's something called Rowan Dojo. Rowan Dojo was the version of... Rowan Dojo was essentially Samurai Wallet. Samurai Wallet does some privacy improvements upon Bitcoin. Where is it? I guess like Bitcoin... This would be an easier way to explain it. It's still not even close to Monero's privacy. But Whirlpool is a conjoint implementation developed by the Samurai Wallet team to enhance Bitcoin transaction privacy by mathematically disassociating the ownership of the inputs and the outputs, thereby increasing fungibility and protecting against financial surveillance. I had my own wallet on my hard drive back in 2009. My wallet was embedded into the hard drive. Yeah. RIP though if you didn't fucking do anything with it. The crazy thing is that wallet could be traced back to you if you had bad OPSEC. They have systematically traced wallets back to the original people that were like the first couple wallets. I mean, Bitcoin's transparency is a feature. It is a terrible feature when you think about it, but it is a feature. It's supposed to enact some form of trust in terms of financial literacy, like the financial system in general. As October of 2025, the protocol remains active with ongoing analysis confirming it uses 5 input, 5 output transactions across various dominations since 2019. Whirlpool is a fully modular open source framework based on the modified version of the zero-link theory, designed to be portable and usable across different platforms, including mobile and desktop environments. I think, so Lightning is supposed to be, in heavy quotes, more private, but I have to look down this own rabbit hole. Lightning's just faster. That's why I like it. The Bitcoin layer is enhances privacy compared to Bitcoin's base layer. Have fun with the Hola. What? I don't know what that means. Oh, the rabbit hole. Yeah, it's like interesting. I kind of want to learn how it like works, like what makes Monero's privacy more concurrent. I understand it's like a lot of math, and then how Whirlpool and conjoin and pay joins kind of like work. It's kind of interesting. I think the government is behind. Don't think the government is behind crypto, but I think that they. I mean, this is my theory. I don't think the government is behind crypto, but I think Bitcoin, now that it's known to be transparent and linkable, they're more in favor of it. I think that because it's more transparent and the government figured this out. Not the government's not a person, so I think when people inside I got to stop saying the government because it just sounds retarded when you think about it. The government's not a person. I think when people inside the government that want to track their citizens figured out that Bitcoin is traceable and that all these online wallet companies, they have to abide by like financial regulation, they're like, perfect, Bitcoin's great. Government uses smart people to do their homework. Yeah, sure. But government's not a person or a thing. It's just it's a system. So, but people inside the government figured it out. They figured, hey, these retards are buying through Coinbase. We're going to track every transaction. I know, but like, it sounds retarded when you actually think about it. When you like sit there and say like the government's not a thing. It's just a group of people that may have a shit fucking perspective. But Ronin Dojo is kind of like, so Ronin Dojo is like the replace of Samurai Wallet. Samurai Wallet was a way that you could mix your Bitcoin. But here's the thing, when you mix Bitcoin, it reduces its fungibility still. You could be buying like shitty, dirty Bitcoin. So each Whirlpool cycle guarantees 100% maximum entropy, 10.54 bits, and 1496 possible interpretations of the output in the output mapping, preventing deterministic links to ensuring strong privacy. Users can mix Bitcoin via the Samurai Wallet app by selecting UTX OS, choosing a pool size, and initiating cycle with the opposition of running continuous mixing using a desktop client. The system supports multi-mixing rounds. The system supports 2024. The founders of Samurai Wallet, including those behind Whirlpool, were indicted by the U.S. Department of Justice in charge of large-scale money laundering, with the prosecution alleging the service was used by criminals to sting civilians. That's crazy, too, by the way. I don't know why these people haven't fucking been released. Oh shit! Their case is being sentenced on November 2025. Interesting. Oh, these guys haven't fucking posted since 2023 for these Monero signer. What we all know, currency is going to be the part of the one world. Okay, Jay, take your meds. What am I reading? Oh, I was just reading something on conjoin. I know I'm familiar with conjoin. I've used it a couple times, but I'm not entirely sure beyond that. With Zcash, I think Zcash is dog shit. I think it's corporate, government-backed, backdoor shitcoin. To be completely honest, I mean, I'm going to remove the tinfoil hat, but I think Zcash is dog shit. I don't understand even why people use it. It's like the XRP of the privacy coins. If you want to buy it to make a bag and then exchange it for Monero, sure, but I would never. And I'm actually kind of annoyed that Edward Snowden had some stake in it. I think that was some criticism. He got some huge criticism for that. And the problem with Zcash is its privacy. This isn't a Monero like maxi moment. This is because Zcash is quite literally privacy by option, and I don't think privacy should be an option. That'd be like taking cash and putting a little tracking device on it, and that tracking device being it's off, but you can turn it on. That shouldn't be the default. The default should be privacy. You know what I mean? Cash is private by default, and we know this. It's privacy by default because it's cash. That's why it's not traceable to a certain degree. It's not like you can't, like if someone steals $500 out of your fucking shoebox, you can't report it because no one knows it exists. That's what Monero is. Its existence is, we know cash exists, we know Monero exists, we just don't know how much you have. We don't know you have it. That's what it should be. Zcash is not like that. It's an option, and you have to turn it on. Zcash is actually, even an easier way to explain it, is like Telegram. Telegram is not end-to-end encrypted. It's not encrypted by default. It's a choice. And because this choice is affecting tons of people because tons of people use it, you are not going to expect the average person to use it or remember to use it. I don't want to remember if my shielded transactions are on or off. That's the problem. And I don't see the point. And I don't see, let's see, what's it at? It's had a huge run up. It's at 234. The last year, it's up like 500% if you would have put money into it. But the max the crazy is the max, even 5 years, it is down. It's up 271%, but if you go to the max, it's down 2,000%. So like it kind of depends where you bought it. It's been pretty much in the market. It went up in like 2022 and then crashed down to like $23 now. Then it went up again like in 2023 for a minute. So if you would have bought, I guess, like a year ago, if you would have bought like maybe at like $38, you could have made some money. I just don't like it after reading it. It's encrypted electronic cash. It needs to be shielded. And it's very like CEO based. Electronic Coin Company is the current owner of the site for Zcash. However, a proposal to decentralize ownership across multiple teams is in process of June 2023, which never happened. They have cookies. They have email, internet connectivity, employment. Imagine having... This is the difference. Here's like Monero. I don't even think you know who their team is. I'm pretty sure they don't have nearly as... Their privacy policy is probably... God, they don't even have one. Do they? Do they legally have to have one? Oh, here's a perfect... Here's perfect example. The Monero project takes many precautions to ensure files are available. This website may collect personal information from some users because the Monero project respects the privacy of users. Their personal. There we go. We collect the standard server logs for a web server. What we use the data for. Server logs are data used to provide statistics on the website and help us to improve the content information flow. The data is also used to analyze errors and diagnose requested dead links. A portion of the server logs are used to gather statistics on Monero downloads in order to help better users. That is the simplest fucking privacy policy you can get. Top 3 coins for holding and trading. Monero. Monero, Bitcoin, I guess. Bitcoin Cash, actually, to be unironic, and that's it. Monero, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. Monero because based, Bitcoin Cash to be ironic and funny on the internet, and then Bitcoin. But here's crazy. This website, this is the tiniest... I love privacy policies are this simple. I don't like overcomplicated shit that I gotta read. Then you have Zcash. Motherfucker be going down. How do your personal information is protected? No method of transmission over the internet or method electronic is fully secure. While the maintenance of this site uses a reasonable effort to protect your personal information, promotional emails, access to personal information, changes your personal... just so much to read through. Honestly. More than it needs to be. In addition to purpose of use, I would say that Zcash, too much. Required by law, Monero. So, You need to be invested into Monero for the long term. That's it. Get a hardware wallet. Take Monero and split it. Buy $200 worth of Monero. Like whenever you have the financial means to. Take 100 and put in your hardware wallet, and take another 100 and use it to spend to help the economy, to like help the circular economy. Sell stuff from Monero. Mine Monero. Use Monero. It's a currency. Buy stuff. Even if you, in the last 5 days, it's dropped $10. But most people don't get paid every 5 days. Some people get paid every 2 weeks. If you would have put just $300, say like $300, you would have made $17. Your money grows. So if you spend Monero on a monthly basis, then your money would have grown a month. 1 year, $150. So think of where you're going to see a 92% return. 5 years, a 158% return. Max. 12,000% returns. Just like you have to look at the out term. You have to look at the long term. I am not trying to focus on Monero's price. It does exist, but it's a very small margin of my theory, my outlook on Monero. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be dumping my money into Monero if it was constantly losing. That'd be kind of dumb. I would buy less and maybe use it more. I would use more of it than hold more of it, if that makes sense. Because Monero's theory is based on Monero's principle is what I care about. The fact that it's private and it gives me true digital ownership. That's it. I care about functionality, I guess. That's the easiest way to explain it. There's no one else that competes with it. So even looking at the last, you could do this. You could buy it, use it, spend it, whatever. But I think this price right here, the $313, I think this is the biggest discount you'll see Monero at in next 10 years. If you want to create some form of private intergenerational wealth, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not just, again, focusing on price. I think Monero's functionality is the most important aspect of it. But if you want to create some form of generational wealth, you are going to regret that you didn't buy it at $313. That's it. I generally don't FOMO people. I don't think FOMO is good or healthy. But buying Monero at $313.49 is the equivalent of buying Bitcoin at $1 or $300 if you want to go that deep. I think it is Monero's value is far beyond Bitcoin's. And I think we're going to live in a society where we're going to want a private cryptocurrency, not the central bank digital currencies that they want to fucking pass, not any form of financial institution that wants to pass all these backdoors and watching of your spending. Look, if you have a credit card and you use it and you know that if you have a credit card and you know it exists, like you use it, you collect the points, whatever, that's fine. But if you are removing the ability to buy stuff privately, you're going to need options. And if you don't have these options, you're kind of fucked. I like having the ability to wake up and be like, yeah, I can buy this trip so I can go to like Mexico. I can buy this amount of money to get this many points and go to Mexico for free on money I was already going to spend, whatever. But I also want to be able to buy something without anyone knowing, without any bank taking this information and reselling it, without my bank knowing what I'm buying, or possibly buying something that may in the future be illegal. And there's a transaction history. That's all it is. Bitcoin is like, hey, I bought crack when it was illegal, and now it's legal. But I bought it when it was illegal, and everyone knows now. just a food for thought. But guys, thank you for joining me for this hour and 19 minutes of me ranting into the camera and playing Magic the Gathering. You know how it be. Remember to argue in the comments for the algorithm so that YouTube stops punishing me. Big pee pee poo poo balls. And I'll see you guys in the next.